Hello everyone. In this session we will be creating a Python application by using Flask framework. Now before we start creating the application, we need to install Python. I'm using Ubuntu, and in Ubuntu Python is pre-installed. As far as Windows users are concerned, you need to install Python separately. After installing Python, you need to install another package called pip package. Okay, now to install it, you need to give the command sudo apt get install python 3 hyphen pip. In my machine, pip is already installed. For Windows users, to install pip, I have given the set of commands in the description. So once you have installed Python with minimum version has to be 3.6. After installing Python and pip, now you are ready to create the Flask application. Alright, so what I do, I will clear the screen over here, and let us say I create one folder that's going to be my main project folder. So let's create the folder. Let us say I'm giving the name as sample flask. Alright, so this is the folder, and I move into the folder by using cd sample flask. You can use any of the editor. The editor which I'm going to use over here is Visual VS Code. So code dot, so let's open this folder in the VS Code. Alright, so here is our main project folder named as sample flask, and the project folder is completely empty. So what I do over here in this, I create one file named as sample.py. Name of the file can be anything. It's just a coincidence that we are having the name of the project and the file as sample. So what we'll do initially, we'll copy the code directly from Flask documentation. So open Google Chrome over here and just write down Flask documentation. So you'll copy the minimal code. So either you can go directly with the quick start, or you go to the main Flask documentation file, and from here you go to quick start, and in quick start you will find minimal application. Alright, so we just copy this code and paste it in our py file, that is sample.py. Alright, let's save this. So it consists of, we are importing Flask from Flask, the name of application is app, and we are having a route. Routes are nothing but the URLs. Alright, and followed by the function. Alright, what are the other types of routes, and what are this def, what this stands for, we'll look into detail in the next sessions. Alright, so this is our main file. Now let us execute this. Alright, now to execute this, let's open the terminal. Now very first thing what you need to do is you need to install the Flask. Alright, the Flask framework has not been installed. Now to install the Flask, either you can first create the virtual environment, and you can start your complete project and the installation also in virtual environment, or else you can go with the global scope. So we'll be installing the Flask over here, considering the global scope. Now to install the Flask, use the command sudo apt get install python 3 and then Flask. So Python is already installed over here. So once you have installed the Python, let me clear the screen, then you need to set some global variables. Those is Flask app. Alright, so tell inform that which is our main file to get executed. Alright, so to do that we have the function export. Alright, for Windows users you need to replace this export by set. Okay, so export variable is Flask app, and this we have to give it to the name of your main file. Name of our main file is sample.py. So sample.py. So once you are done with this, then you can start executing your project. Now to execute the project, we have simply Flask run, and if there is no error, your application will be running on port number 5000. Alright, so just take the cursor here and press Ctrl and then click. So here you go, here your project is executing. This hello world is coming from your default route. All right, now we'll add some additional routes to check upon whether it's working or not. Also at the same time, you look over here, we are having one concept called debug mode. Debug mode is off. So let's check over here. What I will do, I will create one another route. Let's consider the name of that route be about us. So route about us, name of function, you can give it anything. All right, what I do, I keep the name as about itself, and let's consider this is returning one string. Let's consider the name of that string is let's say it's going to return this is about us page. This is about us page, and let's close the tag. Okay, I used capital H. Let me make it small. Let's save it, and let's go to the browser, and in the URL let's use this route about us, and you'll find that it will show you an error. Yes, even though we have created the route named as about us, it's not routing to that page. All right, the reason because we have the debug mode. That debug mode is by default set to off. So whatever the changes we make while server is executing, those changes are not getting reflected in your browser. Now in order to work it out this way, that you make the changes in the application and immediately it should get reflected back in your browser, you need to set this debug mode to on. Okay, right now you cannot do this. So what we need to do, we'll just close this application, not application, we'll close this server. All right, then we'll set this debug mode to on. Okay, now to set the debug mode on, you need to set the variable flask debug equal to 1. All right, and then you start with the server flask run. Here you go, here you got debug mode equal to on. Now let's open this application. Yes, it's running on 5000. Let's check with about us page. Yes, it is working. Now what we will do, we will create another route. All right, and we'll add the corresponding decoder. So let's consider name of our route, let it be something info. Okay, and let's consider name of this decoder or the function, let it be info again. All right, and here we'll pass one string. Let's say we use in h2 tag. All right, and let's say this is the information page, and then you can cross check over here. We are just saving over here. We are not going to restart the server, but now in this just change the route over here and let us write down info, and here you go. We are able to see this page we made while the server is running. We are making the changes in the application file, and the same changes are getting reflected in the page. This is because we have set this debug mode to be on or active. Okay, similarly in the case, let's consider along the route you are passing some variables. Let's consider something like that. We are having the application a login page, and once logged in, okay, we are passing the username through the URL. All right, so let's consider we create another page. Let's consider name of that page as welcome, and in this we are passing the name of the user. All right, so what we'll do, we'll create one route with the variable which we are passing through, and let's consider we are having the function or the decoder over here. Name of the function is logged in. All right, and we'll pass this as a variable name, and let's consider we'll display one welcome message by using a formatted string. Welcome, and we can just use display this string welcome and then user, welcome users page, something like this. All right, so let's check into here, because we already set debug mode equal to on, so we need not restart the server. We'll just directly go to the browse over here and let's change this to welcome. Welcome, and we press enter. It's saying error because along with this we have to pass one variable, because we haven't set put the condition what if we do not provide the name of the variable. Alright, so what I do over here, welcome, I just write over here ahead Sam, and here you get welcome Sam's page. Alright, so that's how basically this works. This is just a brief introduction of how your project is actually working, how to start with your project, and simply we have taken one small case where you'll be passing username, alright, through the route. In the later sections we'll look into how to move from one page to other page. That's nothing but what we said to be rendering templates. Okay, that's it for this session. In the case you have liked, kindly hit like and subscribe. Thank you.